Yeah, it's been an exciting last week. No, I've had a lot of time to do some analysis, some macro level analysis on Bitcoin, and I wanted to share that with our listeners. Um, if you guys are hanging out in the Discord right now, I can actually share my screen with you. Let me jump in. Good old squad talk.
Yeah, I saw you doing that. I'm actually going to join Squad Talk too right now. I saw you doing that in the War Room. It was really interesting stuff that you were working on, which is where Bitcoin's going. And I'm telling you, Mike, this whole market is just feels a bit schizo to me. Up 3%,
It
down
does.
4%. It's just no one really
Right.
knows. Yeah, it's confusing to be honest. No one can actually pinpoint a trend or a direction that we're in at the moment.
That's right. And sorry, guys, I need to talk a little bit louder, or sorry, softer, because Noah's voice is typically quieter than mine. So I will try to talk a little bit softer to keep it, kind of level. Okay. So, I was doing some macro analysis on Bitcoin because I'm like, okay, where can we reasonably expect to go based on the last cycle? Kind of like, where are we? And I was just looking at the monthly chart because I like to look at that because it gives me some very key levels. So if I here, let me share my screen, and this is a good opportunity to jump to Discord. If you guys aren't already in, you can click on one of our faces, go to Instagram or YouTube, and then find the Discord link there. You can find it in Instagram on either of our bios. We have a link tree there. You can find the Discord invite there. Okay, cool. And you can view it on your phone too. So even if you're on your phone, you can still see what we're looking at. All right, let's jump to it so that we can have this for the YouTube
Yeah.
viewers. You guys can always catch the show after on YouTube.
Oh, perfect,
Okay,
Mike. I'm actually watching your screen right now.
cool. Okay, so and I'm gonna pull up a different chart in a little bit, but let's just kind of like zoom out here and look at where we're at in the bull cycle. And I look at our momentum indicator and I see like, okay, well, last time we had a sharp close up, like all of a sudden we had this momentum, this big momentum. We had this blow off top, and then
You're talking about December 2017, January 18 on the monthly chart.
yes, I'm looking at December 2017. We had that blow off top to 20K, and then we had shortly after it closed up about a month later, we had a big red candle, and then we started seeing some long-term downward momentum. So let's take a look and see where are we in this cycle, right? So we can see here we've got this big momentum on our momentum indicator, and it looks like, Noah, that we're going to actually have more momentum here. There's decreasing volume, but there's increasing momentum. Isn't that interesting?
It's interesting. Absolutely. It looks like more money is going into it. But as we know, the more and more money that goes into it, right, it's eventually going to drop off when everyone's money's in it. So I do find that interesting. And I see how you're doing the comparison back to 2017. And I saw you doing that in our Discord. And one of our Discord members brought up a good point, which, I was curious to what you felt about that, which is we're in a much different time period than we were in 2017. We have a lot of institutional buy-in
Mm,
in Bitcoin at the moment. We have a lot more mass adoption from retail investors in Bitcoin at the
aha.
moment. So, I mean, how do you feel? I see that you're talking about here with the monthly chart that we look like we're going to enter into a consolidation period. I understand. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Right.
yes.
So
So
I see that.
I want to pull up the full thing. So let's see. I think I had the Coinbase chart up. Let's see. Was it the Coinbase? Okay, here, perfect. Okay, cool. So let's first, before we look at this cycle, let's look at the previous cycle.
And
And I
before we get started, I just want to say, Fire Dog, welcome to the chat on Discord. And if anyone's listening, the way to get the best out of what Mike is talking about is to follow along visually, and you can do that on our Discord channel. Um, Mike has the monthly Bitcoin chart up right now, and he is showing us patterns, historic patterns of Bitcoin. So go ahead, Mike.
and at some point I'm going to take this back to 2013, but right now I've just got 2017, right? So let's look at the 2017 bull cycle and what happened, right? So and the thing is, Noah, this has not just repeated itself once, but it's repeated itself twice now, where we had a break of the previous all-time high, and then we had followed by an 85% drop, and for about 1,000 days, we were stuck in that bear market. And then, we had the Bitcoin halving, and then that just kicked things off. And that's now happened, I think, 3 times. I think this is the sort of the third cycle, because we had the 2013, 2017, and now we're in 2020, 2021. Okay. So let's follow this. So we had this break here. Previous all-time high from 2013 was about 11 and some change, 1,100 and some change. We then followed that with 5 green months. And it'd be interesting to go back and look at 2013 and see what happened there, right? Okay. So we had about four to 5 green months, right? Let's say 4.5 right here, right? 4.5 green months. And then we had a little bit of a pullback. We had a sharp pullback, and dip was quickly bought up. And that drop was about 40%, right? That was the bottom of the dip. And that was bought up very, very quickly, as you can see from the size of the candle. Following that, we had 3 to 4 months of continuation. So now, before we discuss anything, right, or debate, let's now look at the current bull cycle and see how it compares. Okay, so we had the previous all-time high break at 20,000. You can see where this blue line is at 20,000, right? We broke the all-time high of 20,000. We then followed that with, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we had some of this month was green too, right? So we had almost the exact same, almost 4.5 months of green. We're setting that new all-time high on this scale.
You're looking at November. You're looking at November 2020 up to today, and watching the monthly chart. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm not including November. I'm including December. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we had an all-time high here. The peak was actually here, right, in April, at 64 and some change. So I still see that as 4.5 months. It's pretty close to 4.5 months that we had up until this most recent local top. So I believe that we're in that red candle right now. And the range that I'm looking at is a 38% drop off the top. So off the top of this wick, I'm looking at a 38% drop.
Where did you get that level? Why 38%?
Okay, let's go back and look at the previous one.
Yeah.
37. The monthly candle off the top, it might even be bigger. Let's zoom in a little bit so I can get this pretty close to, it's actually bigger than that. Sorry. It's actually 40. Well, let's make sure. 41, 42%. So it's actually more. And
which fits in the narrative. Which fits in the narrative that we've been saying, and a lot of analysts that we watch have been saying, that we can expect a 30 to 40% drop in the near future.
Right, just off of this happening over and over and over. So if we bump that up to now 42% off the top, we're looking at it would be even lower than 38. So let's see, that would bring us to maybe 38K. Yeah, 37.5. So off the top, it's going to be a little bit higher. You get the point. It's in the low 40Ks, right? Just being conservative in the low 40Ks. So, and I'm looking for continuation past that. I mean, look at how much momentum we have. We have increasing momentum, decreasing volume.
Now, I got a question.
Let me wait, hold on. The decreasing volume signifies a decrease in strength in the short term, right? In the short term, we're having a decrease in strength, which, with how much we've run up, Noah, with a decrease in strength, that is the probability of us pulling back is so much higher than the probability of us just continuing to go parabolic. And actually, it's healthy for us to consolidate because it will wash short-term people out of the market, right, that are going to panic sell. It'll wash those people out, and then new people will enter, right, that have been waiting to enter.
Right, and we need that strength in momentum to maintain the price, right? So you're saying that because the volume is dropping off, that's the issue we're having here. That
we can't keep going up.
Right. If the strength doesn't continue to hold that price, then inevitably it has to fall. My question to you, Mike, is how fast was that fall in 2017? Like, are we expected to see one night where we just drop 40%, or was that a gradual drop?
We'd have to zoom in. We'd have to zoom into the week.
Hold on one second. Satoshi just called me, and Satoshi, if you're listening, send in a voice note. We would definitely want to get your opinion on this. So definitely send in a voice note so the listeners can hear your 2 cents. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, so we'd have to look on the weekly chart and zoom in a little bit more. But I would, if I could, I just have to see the candle. So just look at this, right? And when you know how to read candles, you get it. The wick, right, which is the very thin line, is very long. And so what that says to me is that dip got bought up really quickly, and we stayed in this. We had a really tight range. Look at this, 4,300 to 4,700. We were in a really tight range during that similar consolidation period. Now let's look at the candle forming thus far on the monthly chart. So we have a big wick up and a big wick down because again, the beginning of this month, we topped out, right? And we have a big wick down. But that wick might go further down. We might have a big quick drop. If it mirrors the last cycle, we'll have a big quick drop, and that will get bought up very quickly. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the momentum or the volume that where you're going to say that's going to be bought up very quickly. I mean, you're talking about what price range at the?
Let's go and look at the volume. So the volume here looks different, right? So if we look, we have green volume. I think the gray is red. So, or maybe not. Yes. Okay. So the gray one is red. So we can see here. No, I don't know what the color thing is here. Anyways, we can see here that actually the volume was decreasing a little bit. Do you see down here the slight decrease in volume before we had this, right, with small drops off in volume leading up to that red candle. Look at our volume drop offs are actually bigger than the last time. Relatively speaking, the drop off in volume is actually greater. So if we have a correction, in the short term, like this month, I believe that it's going to be a bigger move, right? Those big drop offs in volume, and then because people are waiting. If there's a big drop off in volume, it means people are waiting on the sidelines.
Right. That's exactly what I was going to get to. Why are we seeing this big drop off now? Right. It's because there's anticipation of a future dip coming.
Right. They're waiting for a pullback. They're saying, hey, we don't think it's going to go up that much from here. What's the point of buying?
And that patience, right? That waiting period is actually causing Bitcoin to drop further.
Right, because people there's if it's not going up, it's going down at this point because we've had 4.5 green months.
Now, Mike, can you see a scenario where we actually test our all-time high again before we take another dip?
I mean, based on other analysis I've been reading, I expect that now we're going to move up to 59K. And then we're going to get rejected again from that level. So that would set a lower high. So if any of our listeners have any questions about the monthly chart, definitely get those in now before we jump to the weekly chart.
So you think that the $59,000 mark, or I'd say more so the $60,000 mark, is the key resistance level. We're going to test that again before we take the downward consolidation period. And
Well, to make that case, let's
pull up the
take a
weekly
look.
chart?
Oh, wait. I had something to corroborate my 59K level. So do you see
Yeah.
do you see the body of the red candle?
Yeah.
That is where I believe the resistance is right at the top of the body of the candle at 58.8K. So I believe that there's, we didn't spend a lot of time above 59K. I believe that that's a big resistance level and that we're going to get rejected from that and then go down to the 40K range. Mid to high is conservative. Low to mid is more in line with what we've seen in the past.
Yeah. Nice analysis. Very interesting.
And like just people that want to do analysis like this, like it's not complicated. You see that I'm just looking at the historical data because that's the chart tells us the historical data, right? And we just have to say, okay, well, if it happened like this before, well, let's try to, sort of guesstimate where it's going to be now. And you see that I'm using a combination of what happened from last bull cycle and what's happening with this bull cycle. And I'm trying to connect the dots a little bit.
Yeah. What I find interesting in the chart, and you mentioned in the beginning, is the dropping volume, but the increasing momentum.
Right. So we have, and actually, Noah, this is, what our whole analysis is, built towards, right? Is building this narrative. We have institutions taking Bitcoin off of exchanges, which decreases the amount of liquidity that's available on the exchange, which decreases the volume.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And therefore, when we have a less liquid asset, we're going to get sharp drops and sharp moves down and sharp moves up. So I expect that we're going to wick down to, and when I say wick, it means, sharp move down and sharp move back up. I expect we're going to wick down to 45K at least. And after we reject off of 59, we're going to wick down to 45K. And then we're going to go back up and see continuation. If you look at 2017, that's exactly what 2017 is telling us.
This month, what was our high and low of this month so far? I see our low was about 51,000 and our high, if you take your cursor and put it up to up higher, up the top of the wick.
Okay. It's 65.
So just under 65, I think it was, yeah. And our low was about 51. So, I mean, look, Mike, I understand your analysis. I'm just going to say that the month's not over yet. We could finish this month with a green candle. It's not unheard of.
I disagree. Unhealthy for the market. Super unhealthy. We're going to see because I'll explain. Hold on. Before we go to Satoshi, I'm going to explain exactly why. What's going to happen is all the supply is going to get, if what you're saying comes true, all the supply is going to get bought up. Then Bitcoin is going to become less liquid. And then what happens is we get a sharp drop. So if we continue going up, we will get a sharper drop. It doesn't keep going up.
I mean, you're talking about a drop of about 38%. That's pretty sharp.
Yes. But I believe that will be bought up quick by people that have been waiting to get in.
Interesting. Satoshi, what's up?
I would like to come in with a message you give amazing advice to people that trade with margin or want to are real traders, day traders, week traders, even month traders, right? In and out, trying to make a profit on the volatility. But let me cover the macro part. Look, for anybody that's holding Bitcoin now, no matter how many you have, how many Satoshis, you got to listen to this. And I saw this before me when Bitcoin was in the dollars, in the $100, because I had actually Bitcoin on my radar very early. I did not buy. I bought my first Bitcoins around $500-600. But then listen, I also bought some Bitcoins at $15,000. And guess what happened? It went back to 3,000. Now, did I sell? No. And that's, I think, is the key. And today, look where I stand with that 15K Bitcoin. The next message I want to add is, you know, if somebody would have told you last November when Bitcoin was around 10K, 12K, hey, Bitcoin by April will be 42K. You would have if you would have already owned Bitcoins, and be honest, you'd have signed right away. Yeah, 40K, wow. But now if it goes from 65 to 40, what? It changes your emotion about it? And these emotions are noise. They mean nothing in the long run. If you believe in Bitcoin and look at the value proposition,
it's not about that.
Bitcoin should be worth in that value proposition $500,000 to $1 million by 2030. But it could, of course, happen much before. Then really, all of this is chitter. It's meaningless.
Yes.
You know, but I'm not saying it's meaningless. It's good you make these analyses. It's great. Just put it in perspective. That's the important part.
Yes, and to piggyback off of what Satoshi said, because Satoshi is trying to reach please clap it up for Satoshi. Give him a follow. Share the show if you guys appreciate Satoshi coming on. You know, I do want to say that for long-term investors, this means absolutely nothing. Noah and I are trying to take the most that we can out of this market, and of course, we're not whales, right? But, you know, we want to take the most we can out of this market and learn how to do reasonable analysis, right? The reason that I do this analysis is so that I can have a reasonable expectations, right? There's so many, and Noah and I talk about this all the time, and I'm going to let Noah comment on this in a second, how there's so many YouTube channels that do this moon talk or have these crazy price targets, and it's not put in the perspective of the previous market cycles of what the on-chain data is telling us the big wallets are doing. You know, to believe that we can learn this stuff and that we can analyze it and have some reasonable expectations. Sorry, one sec. You have to believe that we can do analysis and that we can have a reasonable expectation of where things are going.
Yeah,
to actually
Mike,
get that.
I just want to add to this, and you know, we both love Satoshi's comments and analysis. We think it's spot on, but you know, he is in a class of his own, and I say this because, like he said in his just note, he purchased at Bitcoin at 500 to 600. I would argue that the majority of our listeners on this show, the majority of our people in Discord, are just new in this space, and so a 30 to 40% drop for them is scary. When you're talking about, you know, you're just getting in and you bought in at 59, you bought in at 57, and you're looking at a potential drop to 30, you know, you don't see it in that macro perspective. You see it in that micro perspective.
Yes.
What Satoshi is challenging you is to say, hey, take a step back and look at the market from a macro perspective. You know,
wait, hold on. Let me push back on the pushback. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I'm looking at
you are.
Hello, I'm looking at the monthly chart. Okay,
yeah. I'm not saying you're not. I'm not saying you're not doing that. I'm just saying for our listeners who are new in this space, you know, of course, a lot of them would say, "Hey, I would have loved to buy Bitcoin at 20,000, and if it was jumped to 40,000, I'd be jumping with glee." But I bought it at 59,000, and it's about to drop to 40. What do I do? And the answer is you be patient, because this is not a short-term game. This is a
right. It just depends how much you want to babysit it. And I would say for most people, if you don't have the tools and you just have like a Coinbase account or what have you, like don't even buy. Like this is just for entertainment, right? We're not giving you financial advice. This is just for entertainment, talking about where we think the price is going, and you can come back 2-3 weeks, 2 months later and tell us if we were right. You know, we want you to track like what we said and tell us if our exactly. Now, if I could look at the yearly chart, I would, but I don't have a yearly chart. The only thing I can look at is the monthly chart, and this is about as like simple, boiled down as you can pretty much get in terms of looking at the bigger time frames and what the past bull runs have indicated. Now, I'm going to take this a step. Hold on, I'm going to take this a step further, and let's look at the options that expired. Right, we had the big options expiry. What was that in March, Noah? Okay, so we had the big options expiry, and we had a couple. The two biggest bets were 75K, and I believe it was 120K. Okay, so if those people are correct, and I bet you they're basing their analysis on past price action, I believe that we can get up to 120K. After looking at this monthly chart, Noah, I really think that we can get there based on last price action. Now, let me add one disclaimer before you start doing the math and calculating how much money you're going to make. Okay. Let me put in a disclaimer. It is way more difficult for us to get from 60K to 120K versus 10K to 20K. Okay. Let's be very clear that a lot of money has to flow into Bitcoin for us to get from 60K even to 100K, even to 80K. Right. But if people see it start moving, I bet you people are going to pile in, man. I bet you people are going to pile in behind it. And stock market hitting all-time highs. Of
course they will,
Noah,
but that's the issue. That's the issue I brought up, which is that the people.
Well, I just want to say one sentence. This is the perfect storm for a Bitcoin run. The market being at all-time highs.
Right, but that's a perfect storm for new people coming into this market with a micro perspective. They might not see this as a future dip. They see a future dip as that's a problem. Whereas people like Satoshi see a future dip as a correction in the market. It's just short term.
You got to hedge. You got to hedge. You got to hedge your bets. Okay, you don't want to look. If let's say you sold all your Bitcoin, that would be you're basically shorting Bitcoin. Don't do that. Don't short crypto. And I think Satoshi would agree with that. Like don't try to short crypto. You would have lost your stack a lot of times.
10 times over.
So
a lot of times. Yeah.
Right. Don't do that. But if you want to like a strategy I like to do is take 20% off the top, right? Like we saw BTCST top out at what, $90, $80, $90. And you know what I did, Noah? I took 20% off the top. 25% to be exact, but close enough. I took 25% off the top. And that is a long-term BTCST, to be full disclosure, is a long-term holding for me because they are the top mining groups.
I want to get into that later in the show because there's some exciting news on it. But first, Satoshi, educate us.
It's great you do the analysis. Don't take it the wrong way. There's different people listening, and I want to make sure the people that don't trade, they don't get scared potentially by stuff. It's very important they stay confident and understand that this is important, very important if you want to make money on the volatility. And make money on the volatility if you can. Good for you. That's all I want to do. But if you're a long-term investor, don't get in any way scared by this.
Yes, 100%. And I do want to reiterate that I fully expect a continuation, up to Tone Vase has his price targets pretty low. Don't you think, Noah?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, what was his price target? 120?
No. I haven't watched. Did he do a recent video and he said 120?
I'm talking about his high point where he thinks Bitcoin can go at the end of the year.
I think he said 80K. Like he sees like 70, 80K range is where he's going to be taking profit.
Oh. But anyways, I want to tell you, when I bought my first Bitcoin for 600, the next 8 hours later it dropped 20%. So it doesn't matter how much you buy your first or how many Satoshis you own. I want to say, look, I waited 5 years. I'm up. Anybody in this call who now owns Bitcoin in 5 years on a call like this, when Bitcoin is around between 500,000 and a million, will feel like I feel now. I'm trying to communicate that.
Yes. And he is very right. And again, the key point is that you have a non-inflationary supply. So as the demand for this, as the network continues to grow, the demand for mining equipment continues to grow. We will see Bitcoin continue to that level, barring some crazy event. This chart only goes up and to the right. We have, more trading volume than, Cardano and some of these others have market cap. We see $50 billion worth of Bitcoin being traded per day. This is an extremely stable network. It's, very strongly supported. Bitcoin is, it's the gold of cryptocurrency. And I'll tell you why. They have the biggest network, most secure network, right? Biggest number of users.
That's well, Mike, reason. let me tell you, there might be a challenger along the way. Dogecoin hit the fourth largest crypto just before falling back to the fifth largest crypto behind your favorite coin, XRP.
XRPP.
And I mean, I think it's nuts that Dogecoin is on the top 5 board right now of cryptocurrencies, but it is what it is. That's where we are right now.
Yeah, that's huge. And, Dogecoin, I was just having a conversation with Chris, Lab Yoga Investments on Instagram. And I'm going to read some of his messages here, but
and I just want to,
no private information.
I just want to remind our listeners out there that Dogecoin, 30% of Dogecoin is held in one wallet, and 40% of Dogecoin is held in 5 wallets. So, just so you know,
the top 1% owns 94% of the supply. Right. That's insane. And the mining power too. One group owns 80% of the mining power in Dogecoin. So,
so there's not much security there for you in that.
There's not a lot of security. It's basically like giving your money to any other centralized group. So, they can really mess with the supply. And there's no development team behind it, no active development team. So you can't expect that this is going to be supported long term. So I want to read Chris's message. He's a former hedge fund guy. So, take that how you will. What's going on with Dogecoin is terrible for cryptos. More than one money manager has told me Dogecoin takes faith from broader crypto. Tough to disagree, in my opinion. What are your thoughts?
Yeah,
takes faith from broader crypto.
We've been saying this all along. We spent a lot of time on yesterday's show about this, that how if people lose their lunch on Dogecoin, it could have a much wider effect on the whole cryptocurrency market. As far as your confidence in cryptocurrencies. And I would hate to see that happen, because we've been warning people that Dogecoin is not a secure asset.
Right.
And people don't listen. People don't listen. They just see the price.
Yes.
And they just see that, hey, it was at 15 cents a month ago, and now I'm upwards of 40 cents. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I sold profits.
Here's the thing about the price, okay? You can have a pizza, and I can give you a whole pizza, right? That's one pizza. Or I can cut the pizza into 8 pieces, and I can give you those 8 pieces. But you wouldn't say to me that because I gave you 8 pieces that I gave you more pizza, right? It's the same pizza.
Right.
So in that same way, $100 worth of Bitcoin is worth the same as $100 worth of Dogecoin. You can buy cents. You can buy sub cents worth of Bitcoin. Okay, so the price has nothing to do with how much you can buy. And this is a huge mistake. We've covered this before. In emerging markets, people go towards the more risky assets because they think that they can make more money in the long term. Yeah. Exactly. Right. It's not true. Guys, we've seen this with the cannabis market in Canada. It's not true. The big players will swallow up the little guys.
If you're listening and you disagree with Mike, send us a voice note. We always appreciate when people push back on us and tell us the reasons why you think we're wrong. And we're not saying out here that we're absolutely right on where Bitcoin's going. This is just our analysis, what we've been doing, but everyone looks at these charts differently. So definitely let us know where you think that we may be getting it wrong. Satoshi, what's up?
I give you another big one that even Katie Wood misses. She said if all hedge funds apply 2% or 5% of their holdings, Bitcoin, then market cap goes up. And she divided the money that comes in by market cap up. What she forgets is that's how it works in the world, where you have short sellers that can create short stocks out of the blue, where you can companies can just raise more shares, dilute, where fiat money can be printed out of nothing. Everybody now, okay, this is important for what I want to set up, and I think that will blow you away if you conceptually, and it's basic conceptually, listen to it. Imagine there is 3 Bitcoins existing, okay? Alpha, you own 1, Nomad, you own 2, okay? And the price, the last transaction, the price between you guys was $20,000, okay? So the total cap is $60,000 of the 3 Bitcoins. Now I come in and I say, I want to buy a Bitcoin from you, Nomad. And you say, yeah, but I only sell it for you for 100,000. I say, okay, I buy it and I invest 100,000. How much are the Bitcoins now worth, the 3 Bitcoins? 300,000. They went 240,000 up, but I only invested 100,000. How is that possible? It is possible because only the last price paid matters. Yeah. And it increases, inflates the value. It blows up the balloon of everything. And in Bitcoin, you cannot just add shares to the music, baby. You want to enter, you pay.
Yeah. He's right, and this is how it works with all positions. Is like accumulating, right? The accumulation. Of course, we don't have a crystal ball. We can't predict the future, but if like we saw years and years ago, if regulation starts to come into this space, that's the thing that I'm personally looking out for, especially on the US side, is I'm looking out for regulation to come into this space. And, that's a piece of news that I'm looking out for. And I think kind of everybody is looking out for that. Charles Hoskinson has talked about this, and with Dogecoin, that if people are losing money in Dogecoin, then that may give, regulators the sort of ammunition to step in and try to, control this space a little more.
Absolutely. And Mike, we have a new listener here today, a new caller coming in, Smile More. What's up, Smile More? Welcome to our program. What's on your mind?
Hey, Alpha Key and Crypto Nomad. I don't know anything about crypto. I don't know anything about stocks. I have to admit, I put Robinhood on my phone years ago to replace like Candy Crush, because I'm like, you know what? I spend all this time on my phone crushing stupid little candies. Why don't I just play a video game called Robinhood? $1 here, $20 here, $100 there, nothing crazy. But what I've been doing with Dogecoin, which I think is a lot of fun, is I've been taking the profits out as it's been going up. Now, mind you, I got Dogecoin when it was 4 cents or something like that. I've been taking the profits out and I've been buying stock with it, which essentially has turned my initial investment of like $100 and something into 7 stocks from Apple and a bunch of other shit. Anyways, let's see where this goes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome. I mean, that's great you got into Dogecoin early on, and congratulations on that. We talked about Robinhood yesterday and about these centralized exchanges. I don't want to get into it too much today, but my analysis, my take on it is that Robinhood is not your friend. Those centralized exchanges that don't charge transaction fees, they're charging you in different ways, right? They're selling your data. We actually have our show on YouTube from yesterday, so we won't get into it too much. But Smile More, welcome to the program, and we hope you enjoy it and come back and listen to some of our analysis in the future. Mike, what's on your mind? What are you highlighting here on the page that
Well, I'm not highlighting anything on the page. I had this article about why Robinhood may be the biggest owner according to reports, and I just some idea started to circulate in my head, some narrative about Robinhood owning Dogecoin and somehow trying to promote that in the media and blah blah blah, and driving picking an asset that literally has no value and saying, look, crypto's a bubble, look, crypto's a bubble, and trying to drive that narrative. We know that, their investors and so forth are, big hedge funds and, people that try to centralize control. Look, I almost even hate to put this on the airwaves, but it's like, is Dogecoin being driven up by the media to sort of propagate this idea that crypto is a bubble? I know that sounds really stupid, and I really don't want to expand on it too much, but I just
but
thought
if that was the
it's an
case,
interesting.
and
Hey, look, it's a narrative, okay?
Let me just expand on it.
Yeah, okay, okay.
If
Sure.
that was the case, it would be done in an app like Robinhood, which is for the retail investor who's dumping $100.
But I can buy Dogecoin on Robinhood, can I not?
Yeah, that's my point. If this was your theory was to be accurate, it would need to be on a exchange like a Robinhood, which attracts the small investor.
Dogecoin's recent all-time high surge crashes Robinhood. And I just wonder if they're going to pause buys on Dogecoin. Jesus Christ.
I mean, this was 2 days ago when they did pause it, I think. Yeah. Well, I think it's bad for crypto. I think it's really bad for the cryptocurrency market. And what I would like to spend our time on, Mike, is focusing on the different blockchain projects that are actually providing value to the space.
Yes, exactly. But you know what? I think it's still worth covering because I know people are going to come on here and have questions about it. So we want to give you guys our perspective, our take, just to kind of fill that, bucket, if you will.
I just think it's very important that we realize that, the whole cryptocurrency industry is growing and we need to support that ecosystem. We support it by adding security, by adding value into the system, by creating projects that are going to change the way we use the internet in the future. And, Dogecoin doesn't do that. It doesn't do that for me.
Well, here's the thing, Noah, is that, before it was only the centralized entities like if I want to get paid as a developer, right, I go work for Facebook, I go work for Google, Amazon. And now these projects are coming in and saying, hey, we're going to offer you something, we're going to offer you token in return for your sort of economic value, whether that's development, marketing, being a user. You get rewarded for being a user. And, that is what really challenges the centralized authority.
Right. Satoshi, talk to us.
Hey, I'm almost smelling a conspiracy here. What if
is
actually inside doing, what do we call it, wash trading? Sell back and forth, just driving the price up between accounts that after offset the money between each other. If, of course, done in a sophisticated way that is very hard to discover because if you do that, I mean, the price of that scam is quite high. And if I see how many people get into Doge and even people texting me that I had no clue they're into crypto, hey, I bought Doge, what do you think about it? Out of Switzerland, in the UAE, no matter, it's out of control. And it will end badly. There is no way out of it. If you look at the algorithm, if you look at just what Dogecoin is, if you look under the hood, it smells bad. The whole thing stinks.
And I want to draw to one thing that I was also kind of linking in my mind, Noah, because I'm looking at specifically XRP and Doge, which we've talked about a lot on this show. And I'm looking at those two and I'm like, how are those two staying in the top? And I thought about it, and
in the top
right, okay,
five, Mike.
yes, Noah. Okay, so
it's bad.
So
for the industry.
Right, but let's kind of, you know, and hopefully listeners appreciate us drawing this out. XRP and Doge, what are they both doing in terms of supply? What's happening with the supply?
They're centralizing it.
No. Yes, okay, so that's one thing, right? There's centralized control of the supply, but you know, what about the minting?
Yeah, I mean,
you see that? So only 50%, I'll tell you exactly, 50% of the supply of XRP is circulating. They haven't reached the total overall supply. It's only 50%. Okay, so Doge and XRP are both minting more tokens. Doge is minting 10,000 a day, right? At current price, that is, you know, $4,000 worth of Doge coin is being added to the market cap. Okay, so as XRP and Dogecoin go up in price, because again, people that are ill-informed are looking at the price, they're minting tokens, and I know Satoshi is starting to recognize what I'm getting at. They're minting tokens, and this is increasing their market cap. Okay, so as people speculate in the price goes up. They then mint more tokens, which also increases the market cap. And with that, they are able to seat themselves at the top of the market cap list because people are speculating and they're minting more token. Simple.
I think we're in
XRP and Doge
place.
XRP and Doge have a lot of similarities. A lot.
Yeah. Look, Mike, I think we're in a vulnerable position when three of the top five cryptocurrencies are XRP, Doge, and Cardano. And I like Cardano, but Cardano doesn't have a usable product yet.
But don't you see what this kind of suggests? It suggests potentially a couple things, because we know that XRP and Doge are more centralized. It suggests a couple potential things. One, the people who control the supply of Doge and XRP are very good at promoting these tokens.
Yeah.
One, and controlling the price, right? Because they just want to make the price go up so more people jump in.
Yo, isn't it interesting that? Wait, hold on. Isn't it interesting on number one, in your first point, that a lot of the hype, the hype on these tokens come from the same place? Wall Street Bets on Reddit.
I don't know about that. I don't know if that lines up with XRP, but there's two things, right? We have the whales, right, that are controlling the supply, and perhaps they are moving the price up to get continued momentum. And then we have number two, which is the people the average Joes that are hearing about Doge and they're buying into it, and they don't know that it's controlled by a centralized authority, right? We talked about Doge. 30% the supply is controlled by a single wallet, and XRP, Ripple Labs, controls 50% of that. So it's one of two things. Either people don't know that these are centralized entities, or they like centralized entities and they don't know it, or they like centralized entities and they do know it.
or and I would throw a third one out there, like you said, these centralized entities have great marketing guys behind it, and they're marketing the hell out of these coins.
Yes, that's exactly right. And you know, clap it up for you know, the show and everybody that's come on the show, including Satoshi. We definitely appreciate give us a follow for providing this content. I'm really enjoying this show so far, Noah. We're getting into some really deep stuff.
Planet Vibes, what's up, Planet Vibes?
Hold on, what? Crypto centralized now? Y'all got me fucked up.
We're saying it's more centralized than like Bitcoin, right? Like it's not like
Well,
where
I'm
it's
saying
Ripple Labs.
I'm saying they don't have a place in cryptocurrency industry,
Yeah,
and it's
that's
sad
right.
that people are confusing Dogecoin and XRP with projects that actually have real utility. Like a Polkadot, like I don't even want to say Ethereum, but like a BNB, which is somewhat centralized as well.
Right. I mean, look,
these
they have
decentralized content delivery networks.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that it's putting cryptocurrency industry in a vulnerable place when the top 5 coins includes XRP and Doge, which are highly centralized. Messiah. I feel the same way, brother. I feel the same way.
You got it. And in addition, they wash trade. Imagine XRP and Doge. They control so much of the volume that, and they have it in centralized exchanges that they can buy the coin up as much as they wish between accounts that they control. They pay themselves, driving the price up, putting it. This is incredible. And at least XRP has a max supply. Doge doesn't. Doge is like, if you say XRP is bad, Doge is out of control with not even max supply. The thing is just unlimited.
Right. So here's I'm gonna draw some parallels between the internet and what came before that in terms of information, right? So before the internet, we had newspapers, we had magazines, we had television, right? And you'd see ads on a television screen, and then we have the internet, and we still see those newspapers and magazines. We still see them appear on the internet. Right, Noah? Like they'll
Right.
take their create their website.
They transitioned.
CNN,
exactly.
Right. So then, don't you think that we're going to see the same thing with other corporations in the blockchain, that we're going to see corporations come in and try to take some
let me say
market
this,
share or host themselves on the blockchain.
The biggest blockchains out there are not public blockchains, right? They're private blockchains, like the ones controlled by IBM. So They had this technology long before the public started to adopt it. And It wouldn't be surprised that because there's so much mass adoption in these decentralized blockchains, that these corporations think, whoa, hold on. We have our own blockchains that people should be using, that we control those networks. And so now we need to actually go ahead.
What about, I want to put forth this idea. What about having like a Facebook on Ethereum? What if Facebook made their own decentralized app on Ethereum?
We have said this. I honestly don't know if it's going to be Facebook, but we have said this before, that the blockchain space is growing 5 times faster than the internet, and the next Amazon, the next Google, the next Facebook is going to be built in a decentralized platform.
Yes.
That's just what it is, because just the way the internet grew, and we used libraries before, now we are using centralized platforms, and in the future we're going to find more efficiency in a decentralized way. And that's where the market is going. And whenever we find more efficiency, that's where people go. So
yes,
the blockchain space is growing. It's just a shame that we're being distracted by these cryptocurrencies. And I say, when we are being distracted, I'm talking about people who are coming into this new space and learning about decentralization, learning about blockchain, and they're being distracted by Dogecoin. They're being distracted by XRP.
Well, yeah, and the media and whatever can drive these people all day to go and buy these things. But again, the fact that people are buying these things, it's certainly speculation. I mean, there's speculation in Bitcoin, right? And the price of Bitcoin, it's the same thing. Buy and sell. But there's people that come in and look at like a long-term investment. That's dangerous.
You've pulled up this chart on the screen here on CoinGecko, and it lists the top currencies by market cap. And we can see here that, number 3 is Binance Coin, which is a semi-decentralized, which is centralized. I'm not going to say semi-decentralized, but it's a hybrid model, right? Binance has a decentralized exchange as well. Not as popular, but they have one. And the CEO of Binance has said that he is going to move his platform to a decentralized in a decentralized way. Number 4 is XRP. We've talked about that a lot. Number 5 is Dogecoin. So what I see here is that the general public is not ready for a decentralized world yet. They need to have a hybrid world to begin with. And that's what I'm seeing here, is that we are in a hybrid model.
Right. And also I think Tether is an interesting one too, because obviously people demand the US dollar as a stable currency. So I'd be interested to see if that, if and when we enter a bear part of the cycle, if that market cap continues to grow, and by how, I'm just curious,
And Ethereum
because
too.
certainly there's demand there.
Ethereum too has some control and centralization into it as well. So, I just see this as, we talk about decentralization, but it doesn't seem like the general public is ready for decentralization. It seems like we need baby steps, and the baby step is a hybrid model.
And we've been touching on this since we started doing the show about BNB, Binance Coin, as being that sort of gateway currency that you can use it on the centralized exchange, you can use it on the decentralized exchange. It can be used as gas on the Binance Smart Chain, just like Ethereum. And to me, if there's one that I could pick out of other than Bitcoin, I would pick Binance Coin, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Binance Coin a lot, and we are very bullish on it because of the whole use case behind it, right? What we can do with it. It adds so much value on what we can actually do with that token.
It's not a mistake that it's at 83 billion, and they've talked about, burning more. They've talked about burning all the reserves that they have. Like, so the Binance company has kept BNB, right? They've kept BNB for their company, and they said, "Oh, you think we're going to sell that? No, we're going to burn all the BNB that we have at Binance as a company."
Burn, baby, burn. Burn, baby, burn.
Well, yeah, that's the wish, that it's built in a decentralized platform. But if the herd is misled and manipulated, like it always was in history, then evil again controls technology. The good thing is they cannot do it to Bitcoin. It's almost impossible to do it to Bitcoin. That's why I love Bitcoin so much. But look at the top 10 of coin market cap: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, XRP, Doge Coin, USD Ether, another funny one, ADA, Polkadot, and Bitcoin Trash and Litecoin. Look, my takedown. Bitcoin number one. Binance should flip Ethereum, but Ethereum is actually too big to go down, but it should be behind Binance. XRP, shit. Dogecoin, shit. USDT, where's the audit? Fraud. ADA, I think good man. Polkadot, I honestly don't know anything about them. Shame on me. Bitcoin Trash, screw that one. Litecoin, nice guy, but also is a copycat. Shouldn't be there.
And you know what? I think you touched on an extremely interesting thing. I'm sure you caught this too, Noah, how he talked about Ethereum as too big to fail. How about that?
Yes. That's a really good point. That's a really good point.
Money. That is money. Like, I wrote that down right now. Ethereum is too big to fail. It's so true. It's so true. It literally is, because I mean, just think of how many people, like how much funds are locked up on Ethereum network.
Right.
It's got there's so many decentralized apps on Ethereum. Now that money, I think, is moving over to Binance chain over time because of the transaction fees. Why would you want to pay a more expensive traffic ticket for what? What's okay, Ethereum has the more mature apps. There's no doubt about that. I won't debate that ever. But if Binance offers a similar thing, you'll go there. It's like buying the sort of China copy. Like I have, bike handlebars, and I can buy the 3Ts for $300, or I can buy the Chinese copy, which is carbon and almost just as good, for $30. Pick, pick your poison.
Patrick, we have a new listener, Patrick. Patrick, what's up? Please send us a follow. Both Mike and I. We typically don't take calls from people who aren't following us, just to avoid any spam, because we have received spam in the past. But we're going to give you a chance. Patrick, what's up? What's on your mind?
Bro, I agree Ethereum is too big to fail and all that. But Litecoin, how you're talking about like just dismissing Litecoin, and bro, it's on its way up, just like it was the other day. Like the 16th, 17th, it's on its way up again, man. Like literally right now, I just put more money in it. It's on its way up. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Patrick. I mean, it's important to note that Dogecoin is a direct copy of Litecoin. There's no difference.
Okay, there's stuff that runs on Litecoin. I found this game called Lightbringer, and it's like a little RPG game, and it runs on Litecoin. It's pretty cool. But I do think Noah, that we're going to see some interesting stuff with Litecoin in terms of apps. We've kind of already see that a little bit. Definitely need to explore that more. Look, if there are more apps that come onto.
What I just want to say, I'm sorry for interrupting, but what I want to say is that
no, go ahead.
And Dogecoin and Bitcoin, right? These are all competing with each other, and when they're competing they're all competing with each other in the store of value. And when they're competing with each other, who's the clear winner? Who do you want to back in this race? You want to back Litecoin and Dogecoin, or you want to back Bitcoin, who already has had $1 trillion market cap?
For sure,
and has
Bitcoin,
comparison to
100%.
gold. Has anyone ever said, hey, let me compare Litecoin to gold? Let me compare Dogecoin to gold? Absolutely not. So these are in a race with each other. And I guess my question is, who do you want to back in that race?
Look, Litecoin at least has a max supply. And look, I used to own Litecoin as well. It's not bad in any way, okay? Make money on it. Make as much as you can. All I said is it shouldn't be in the top 10. Okay? That's all I said. It's not a bad project. It's not a fraud. It's not shit. It has max supply, but it shouldn't be in the top 10. It's a copycat of Bitcoin, And in terms of mining power, well, it's probably a lot easier to hack Litecoin than Bitcoin. But hey, best of luck driving Litecoin to the moon.
Yeah, I mean, look. I want to say this again because I think sometimes our callers confuse the two. We may make judgment on a coin. We make a judgment on a token, but that doesn't mean you can't make money with it, right? Trading price action is different than necessarily trading utility. And what we want to get across to our listeners here is we want you to look at not necessarily, what I can make in the short run, but what is the long-term vision and what utility do these tokens have? How are they going to grow the ecosystem of the blockchain space? And that's really we want to get across, because I think if more people understand the whole decentralization of our world, then they'll also see the potential of some of these blockchain projects becoming the next Google, becoming the next Amazon, and hopefully solving some of the problems that we have in our world, like climate change. So yeah, I agree that if you're just trading for trading purposes, you can make money. You can make money on Dogecoin. You can make money on Litecoin. You can make money on XRP.
Yeah.
But, the question is, when you look at the real value play, I don't see it there. I see the value play in Bitcoin. Maybe I'm wrong.
Long term, absolutely. I mean, that's only, because of the support, the resistance to 51% tax, Bitcoin is the most de-risked crypto asset, and you can pretty much make the same amount of gains as you can with any other coin, and it has more support behind it. Look, the risk level with Bitcoin is just a lot lower, and when you account for that, it is the best buy, right? In my opinion. and you can't go wrong with, I think, my opinion, I think Bitcoin, Ethereum, look, I'm in the middle of the fence with Ethereum. I do like the idea of too big to fail because Satoshi had mentioned the idea of shorting Ethereum. And I'm like, you know what? Even if Ethereum does have issues with its gas fees and all that, I wouldn't, it's kind of like betting against the crypto market as a whole because the institutional investors, they know Ethereum, they know Bitcoin, right? They know, they're going to start to become familiar with BNB. BNB is like the top dog, but it's like for the average Joe, like that's why I really like BNB.
Yeah.
I like the token.
Hey, Patrick, thanks for your call. Thanks for the follow. What's up?
No, bro, I feel you and I respect that. And I also agree. I would back Bitcoin and definitely Ethereum. The only thing is, like, for the short term, you know what I'm saying? Like the day trade-esque. Like, that's what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? My everyday, all-day trades are like, my little micro trades are literally just, you know what I'm saying, Litecoin and Doge Coin, and then a couple other little things here and there. But, like, for the most part, I take those profits and I put them into Bitcoin and Ethereum. Even if it goes down, I don't take it out. I let it sit there, you know what I'm saying?
Beautiful.
But, yo, I agree. And I was here, like, about 2 weeks ago. I listened to, like, 2 of your guys' shows. I don't know. Yeah, I just normally work a lot, but yeah, I'm here.
Nice, man.
Yeah,
Thanks
we appreciate you listening, man, and tuning in.
Definitely join the Discord because we have our Discord's free. We do have a premium section where people want like one-on-one help and want to get access to our research. But in our Discord, we're doing swing trading. I'm putting up my day trades. I'm doing day trading as well. And in my day trades, I'm like you, man. I would buy Dogecoin in the morning and I'd sell it in the evening if I knew that bump was coming. And
finish what you're saying first for the listeners.
No, I'm just saying that, when it comes to making money, I am not discriminating against any coin. But like Pat just said, when it comes to earning value, when it comes to making wealth, that is going to be built in coins like Bitcoin, not in coins like Dogecoin.
Yeah, I'm going to start calling them Sat09. I'm looking.
Go ahead.
No, before we jump to the next listener, Noah's been talking a lot in this show about Cake and that it's been consolidating less than other coins. And if you continue to tune into the show, you'll catch stuff like that. And it's playing out right now, Noah, as we speak. Cake is at $24. It's gone up 10%. We're seeing a lot of strength, and I mean, you called it with how the consolidation period was going with Cake, and it looks like we have some continuation on Cake. I do want to draw attention to a crypto dog or the crypto dog on Twitter, who said, and he's been in this space a long time. He's claims to be pretty much retired. And he says that he could see Cake 2 to 3xing. So definitely make sure you tune into the show and stay in touch with our analysis. When Cake passes $26, $27, $28, we're looking up. We're looking way up. We're looking up at Uniswap and we're saying, hey, I'm coming for you. I see you. I am en route.
What's up with Sushi Swap? Because Sushi Swap
Yo, I was thinking about you, and I was thinking about your narrative. And look, guys, all of the narratives that we talk about on this show, they're not going to play out exactly the way that we say, and we try to give room for that. So, like Noah, before, if you guys tuned in before, Noah talked about the Coinbase effect, and he thinks that these other exchange tokens are going to see an appreciation in value. And I said, look, I see certain ones, but I don't see all of them. And sometimes I'm right. Sometimes Noah's right, but it's only for the short term, right? It's only for the short term that we're right or wrong.
On my analysis on that, we saw an increase in 1 inch in BNB in Pancake Swap. We did see increases in these exchange tokens. Unfortunately, I don't know.
I can tell you exactly why. So the two that you mentioned, BNB, Binance Smart Chain, growth in Binance Smart Chain, and all-time high website visits to Binance.com. 1 inch Coinbase listing.
Yeah.
Easy. So those are the why the moves happened. In my opinion, I feel pretty strongly about that. And Sushi Swap. Look, my opinion is that okay, they are on Binance Smart Chain, but they're not really on Binance Smart Chain. And what I mean by that is they don't really fit in. Do you agree or disagree?
I mean, why? Why do you say that? I mean, I just see that in the short term, PancakeSwap just completely overtook SushiSwap, and they're growing in TVL, total value locked, whereas I see SushiSwap is just dropping. And I don't understand it, to be honest, where SushiSwap went wrong in the past month.
I just don't think that look, I use Uniswap. You have to think about listings.
You're right. I don't use SushiSwap anymore. I only use PancakeSwap on Binance Smart Chain. So
right. Think about it this way, Noah, because this is important for exchange volume, right? We're talking about exchange volume. People need to have their eyeballs on the SushiSwap website. Agree or disagree?
Yeah.
So
you need to be using it.
If they need to have their eyeballs on the SushiSwap website, there needs to be listings, notable listings on SushiSwap. Right. XFi, guess what they listed on?
Where?
Uniswap.
Yep.
Right.
Uniswap.
So Uniswap, at least in my opinion, is getting the exchange volume. I think SushiSwap is caught between a rock and a hard place. They're not the go-to exchange on Ethereum. They're also not the go-to exchange on Binance Smart Chain. They're just they showed up to both parties and nobody cared about them at either party. Obviously people care about SushiSwap, but it's not the top dog on any chain currently.
Definitely. We got a few callers here, Mike, and I just want to tell our callers ahead of time, especially Nahid and Watchtower, if you want to get your voices heard on our show, we want them to be heard, but you got to follow us because we're getting a lot of spam and we don't play people who aren't part of our community. So definitely shoot us a follow if you want to be on our show. So I'm going to jump over to Pat. What's up, Pat?
Well, let me ask you guys real quick, if you don't mind. Where else can I buy these coins? Like, I basically just use Robinhood, and they only have, the 4 main Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and then they have, 3 others, which is, Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin Silver, Bitcoin, I want to say Cash. But where can I buy other coins? No joke, I can't find it anywhere. And then I've been on a wait list for Voyager for, no joke, guys, 3 weeks, man. I'm trying to get into other coins, and I can't find them. I've been trying to get this Polkadot forever, man, and, I can't get on it anywhere, I just don't know what to do.
Well, a couple things. One is, Mike, I just kind of related, and then we're going to answer his question. But I don't know if you know this, but Venmo, which is a product of PayPal, you can now start buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash on Venmo.
Buy Bitcoin,
so directly from your
buy
phone.
Litecoin, buy Ethereum. No, I'm kidding.
Now, where can you actually buy these other coins? Hey, why don't you move from a centralized platform like Robinhood and start using some of these decentralized exchanges that we're talking about, like PancakeSwap. And you can find these tokens on PancakeSwap. You would need to open up a wallet. You can do that on an extension of a browser. Mike has a couple of videos coming out on our YouTube on reviews of different wallets. And you can actually download your wallet onto your browser. You can onload your fiat currency. They have different ways to do that, either using a debit card or you can transfer it in. And from there, you can go out and you can buy almost any token you want on a decentralized platform, like a PancakeSwap. And in fact, Mike, we have a video on PancakeSwap dropping today. So if you've never used PancakeSwap before, I'm sorry, Mike. That's on Pancake Bunny.
I was like, dude, I was like, yo, you recorded a video on Pancake Swap. Okay, but you know what, Noah? That now that you mentioned that, we have a big gaping hole in that we don't have a Pancake Swap video. So that's definitely coming. If you guys have any suggestions about platform reviews you want to see, or like, how do I use this platform, or like, what should I know about this if I'm an investor? Just shoot it to us, because like I jump in other people's discords and I'll talk about stuff that I think could be useful for them, and
Right.
then I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna make a video on it. And it's like, that's what I love about this whole decentralized thing. You can, and like I'm not gonna lie to you, and I won't give it to you, but I have already gotten inside information just by saying that, hey,
Being
I'm a
part of those
developer, which is
communities,
true, which is true.
yeah. I lost you there, Mike, but there you go. Your mic was dropping out. I just want to tell our listeners too, if you need some hand holding.
Sorry.
If you need some hand holding, if you want Mike to get on the phone with you and walk you through some decentralized platforms and how you can buy Bitcoin and things like this, you can become a patron of our Discord, and that gives you direct access to Mike and I. We're on our Discord all day long, and we're happy to walk you through things like this. So, definitely check that out. I'm going to take a few callers here. Watchtower, thanks for following us. What's on your...
What do you guys think about China going completely digital for currency? What do you guys believe will happen when the dollar falls?
I mean, those are big questions there. We can do whole shows on that stuff. Mike, your thoughts?
Sorry, go. I was just typing to somebody. You're gonna have to review that for me.
Sorry, Watchtower. Those are loaded questions that we could talk about for hours, and we're gonna close up the show pretty soon. So maybe we'll cover those in the next show. Satoshi.
I mean, if it's about
so first is I just checked. Doge a year has 5.5 billion new coins. That means per day, I'm not kidding you, they have 15 million new coins. That means whoever is minting that crap is making 5 million a day. It's a very lucrative business, right? And on the flip side, with all these projects, I think it's really good, the idea to do, a 1-page or 2-page, I call it executive summary of projects. I'm very interested in this as also a consumer, and I'm very happy to help. And I think the three of us should get on a call at some point and discuss, because I found some people I think that could start working on the project. I could even manage them in the beginning, but I want to sync with you guys how we do it, also with the questions, what should be what should be on the summary. So let me know.
Yeah, it's great. I'm really humbled that Satoshi is willing to help us in this regard. This was originally Noah's idea. I want to credit Noah with this one-sheet idea. We're basically going and grading all the tokens based on how it fits in the ecosystem.
Right. And we are identifying, and I just want to pull this up real quickly so our listeners understand exactly what we're doing with these research papers. We are identifying 5 different areas in which to grade different altcoin projects. So, for example, the first would be, what kind of need is it in the industry? Is there a critical need for this? Is there not a critical need for this? Right? And we break that down on why it's critical and why it's not. The product features, the team behind it, very important. Satoshi has said this before. If you've done fraud before, if you've done anything before that's sketchy in the past, we believe you should have a second chance, just not with my money. That was one of the best things he said, I thought. Target achievements. What are these projects doing? What's their execution power? Are they reaching their goals? The tokenomics, very important. We cover that in a lot of our videos. We cover the tokenomics of all the coins. So, basically understanding the market cap, understanding how they're using those funds, and the reward economy, the security economy, the network effect, and is there governance associated with that token? And the last thing we grade these projects on is the time frame. And what I'm referring to is the Gartner hype cycle. How long will it take for these products to reach maturity, adoption, and social application? So that's how we do our research. and we provide our research free to our patron members in our Discord. And beyond that, you can actually purchase our research for 99 cents. Not bad. Not bad. So Satoshi, yeah, let's work on it. Let's get that going.
Hey, can you guys also just let me know what your Discord is? Mine is my name that is here on the stereo app. So Wesote8, that's my Discord, but could you guys let me know yours, please?
Yeah, you can actually get a free invite to our Discord if you click on our face, click on our Instagram, and go to our link tree, either one of us, and we have our Instagram, we have our an invite to our Discord in there, and you can join. And when we do these stereo calls, we often do a visual ride along in our Discord, so you can actually see the charts that Mike is talking about and analyzing. Right now, he has CoinGecko up, and you can see the top 10 coins. So, and we have a great community, a very fast-growing community. But Mike and I don't have time for the bullshit. So if you come into our community, not saying you're going to do this, Pat, but if you come into our community and you start spamming or selling or shilling, it's a good way to get booted.
No, we had this happen. Like, we would never do that to anybody else. Like, Noah and I have tried to avoid that as much as possible. Like, we legitimately want to help and like offer good content to people. So, if people ask us for content, we'll say like, hey, we've got this video on 3 commas or something like that. We just we definitely want to offer, a clear communication channel for everybody that's in our community, and not get these weird stuff.
Question. What do you think about the Filecoin project?
Yeah,
fantastic.
Filecoin. Fantastic. Absolutely.
Look, I haven't reviewed it much from like a what is this worth perspective, but look, open maps, I think Wikipedia is going to be on Filecoin, on the Filecoin network. They were originally there's another app called Everpedia on EOS. I don't know if those two are connected, but you got big apps coming to Filecoin. Right,
well,
so that's going to use a lot of storage.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's like buying up. It's like I'll just say one thing. It's like buying up real estate.
Right. One thing I like about Filecoin is who it's competing with. Right, Filecoin competes with AWS, Amazon, and
that's right.
I think that they compete with them in a decentralized way, which I have been preaching is the future. Right now, you want to build a website, you got to go rent space from AWS. But in the future, that space is going to be decentralized, and we're not paying AWS for that space. We're going to pay our network, our community. So if you understand Filecoin and you look into you dissect Filecoin, it's a competitor of AWS in a decentralized way, and I personally think that's the future. So Filecoin definitely like that token.
No, that's cool. And it would be easy like that. The only thing is I always have to be confusing, I guess. My bad. My Discord is actually on my laptop. For me to get stereo app on my laptop is kind of hard. I don't have Discord on my phone. So I don't know.
I found you on Twitter. I'm going to send you the invite on Twitter.
Nice.
So that you got it, my man.
Nice. Good stuff.
And I think we're going to close up the show in here a little bit. We're approaching an hour and a half. Noah's got to prepare. He's got a flight out today.
Yeah, I do. I got to get on that. My COVID test got back. I'm negative, so I've thank God on that. But Mike, before we close up the show, I wanted to take a brief time and talk about 2 projects that you have been doing a lot of research on. And I mean, it's almost like the worlds have collided in the past day. And what I'm talking about is Bitcoin Standard Hash Rate, BTC-ST, which a lot of our listeners, when you started talking about it, started doing their own research on it and actually invested in it. And sure enough, Mike, that coin has held its value during this volatile period. Which I think is awesome.
Look, it hasn't. It's pulled back. What, from $80? Well, it was like like $80, upper 70, back to 60, 65. So I mean, that's what, like 20% pullback. I mean, it's not huge. And also you get APY in the form of synthetic Bitcoin
Bitcoin.
Right, which we're gonna continue to talk about in the show. You guys don't want to miss the content that we have planned and the way that we're seeing things kind of shape out. So make sure that you stay in tune. Make sure that you follow us, and
Mike,
don't miss a thing.
What I want to get at, what I'm interested in here is that we've been talking about BTCST, Bitcoin Standard Hash Rate. You can check out their website. Very interesting product where you can actually invest in a mining operation. But beyond that, BTCST did this recent partnership with NFTs, and they did it with a Binance Smart Chain project. You want to go into that a little bit?
Right. So basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to use their mining power to, provide an identity for NFTs. And they're going to do that on Bitcoin, which is the most supported network, right? And,
on Binance. On Binance, you mean?
It's like how if you have like a sports card, you get like a certificate of authenticity or something like that, or somebody grades it or what have you. This is basically going to be the same thing. So it's going to be a sort of global way to verify the authenticity of an NFT. You can actually go see it right now if you go to btcst.finance and you click on launch the app.
Mike, you want to show it in your shared screen here?
Yeah, let me flip to it real quick.
And listen, we're going to finish up the show on this. So if you have any last voice notes, any last comments, questions, or interesting stories, now's the time to get them in. We're also going to be on our Discord most of the day today, so you can always reach out to us on there if you have any questions. Mike he's on the USDT website right now. He's on the and it's interesting because Bakery Swap, which is something that we've talked about a lot, is now partnering with BTCST. So if you've been listening to this program, and I know a lot of my family down in St. Martin in the Caribbean have been paying attention. They're owning both Bake, the token for Bakery Swap, and the Bitcoin Standard Hash Rate.
Are you serious, Noah?
Absolutely, they are. I mean, they're hyped.
Oh my god!
And I got a call yesterday from one of my good friends who says, "Dude, did you know that Bakery Swap is now on BTCST? Like, how did you guys know? How did you guys call this?" And
we did it. We did it. We had no idea.
We had no idea this was going to happen.
Yeah.
It just
no.
The level of research and the quality of research that we're doing. That these quality projects kind of find each other, even though we are investigating them independently.
Look, these things just pop up on our radar. Okay, like Bakery Swap, we talked about the TVL started going up. We also talked about BTCST, the same thing. We're looking at the value that's locked up on the platform, right? That people are staking.
And Bakery Swap is a marketplace for trading NFTs on the Binance Smart Chain. If you're just listening and you're not sure what we're talking about, it's a marketplace to trade NFTs on the Binance Smart Chain. So it's big because typically you'd have to trade NFTs on the Ethereum and pay those high gas fees. Whereas on Binance, you're paying like 15 cents to trade, to buy and sell NFTs. So
and you actually you don't buy them with BNB. You actually buy them with this Bake token.
Right.
Which is very interesting as well.
What's the TVL amount right now? 192.
192. Yeah.
What were we at before?
Noah,
can you?
We were at like okay. Let me pull up DeFi Station.
Yeah.
Because this is important. We might be catching a dip on Bake right here. So let's pull this up.
It's at the top. It's at the top.
Yeah. Okay.
The first one, no?
Oh, sorry. It's an ad. It's an ad. Yeah, I forgot. Okay. So no, we're pretty much at the high. We got up to 205.
We started talking about this at the beginning of April. What was the total value locked at the beginning of April? And if you're just joining us and you're watching, you can watch Mike's screen. But if you're not watching Mike's screen, Mike has gone to DeFi Station.io. We have a video on DeFi Station.io on why it's valuable, why you should know about it. It's basically the leaderboard for all the Binance Smart Chain projects, and it tells you
Right.
which ones are growing and which ones aren't growing. And we
Yeah.
spotted Bakery Swap before, I think before it had 100 million in valuation, maybe just over it. And we said, wow, the
Yeah.
NFT marketplace on Binance Smart Chain, that could be big. And sure enough, it continues to keep growing. So Mike, what were you going to say?
Yeah, if you guys are enjoying this content, definitely clap it up, definitely share, give us a follow. So if we look here, we have at one, see, I said, okay, when it started taking off a little bit here, we had an all-time high of 156 locked up. And I said, you know what? Once it got over that, I was like, all right, I'm buying me some Bake. I'm going to stake it on their platform. And no, we're only 5% off the top. No, we're only about 5% off the TVL top. So while the price of Bake has come down, I mean, look, we got a bakery sale going on right now because this is $1.42. I mean, just, you know, I do want to caution because we talked about the price of Bitcoin and how, you know, if we have a repeat market cycle, we could see a short-term pullback. So, you know, caution, right? Approach this with caution, just like you do anything else. But I'm going to say that if this TVL keeps going up, I like this price. I like the price of Bake right now.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, we didn't mention it in today's show, and maybe we talk about it tomorrow, which is, you know, how the altcoins are going to be affected by the volatility of Bitcoin and if Bitcoin takes another dip. But I just want to say there are some projects out there that, yes, they may be affected by this volatility, but they have some real value, like this Bakery Swap here, the NFT marketplace on Binance Smart Chain. I mean, before you'd be paying $15 to $30 to do a transaction on Ethereum. You know, now you're doing it for 35 cents on Binance Smart Chain. So, you know, you tell me, do you see value there for the little guy? I do.
I see massive value. Now I want to see some more stuff on here. Interesting. Look at this. Look at this. Elon something here. And look, this is just an economy, right? Like people are betting on these things and all that stuff. And again,
so definitely check that out. Go to bakeryswap.org and, you know, browse the NFT marketplace on the Binance Smart Chain. I think you might be impressed by it. Definitely check out DeFiStation.io. See the leaderboard on the Binance Smart Chain. And if you want more information on these projects, check out our YouTube channel where Mike does platform reviews. We just had one come out this morning. This one was a little bit more in depth. So maybe if you're a developer or a software engineer and you're looking to get into this space, maybe this new video that came out today, which is on the beefy.finance smart contract security audit, right? That came out today where Mike actually went through the security audit page by page, summarizing the key points and explaining what you should look out for on these platforms, because, you know, these platforms are not
new.
all created. Yeah, they're new, right? And you have to be careful. You have to be careful. So you should want to read the audit of these platforms.
Right.
So absolutely. And if you don't want to go through the audit, you don't have the time, you can watch a 5-minute video on Mike summarizing the key points on our YouTube channel. So Mike, on that note, I got to get packing. I got a flight to catch.
That's right.
I'll be in the UK tomorrow. So I'll do our show from the UK for anyone here that's listening and out in that neck of the woods. And yeah, that's it for me today, Mike. What else? Anything else before we sign off?
No. I mean, I'm just looking through Bakery Swap here. I love that you can actually click on the artist and see other artwork from that same artist. I think it's a phenomenal, way to transact NFTs. We'll definitely do a video on it coming soon, Bakery Swap. So if you guys aren't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, go and check that out. And, we'll have a little notification pop up. Hey, here's a video on Bakery Swap. So you can get that info before anybody else and jump on it while it's cheap, relatively speaking.
Definitely. Let me get my Let me get my music here, our outro. That was
Yo, I wanna shout out the new followers real quick. We got Eddie
let's do it.
85BR, That Watchtower, Worst Nice Man, Huesote, 8, Grisworld, Shariar, and Crypto Night. Thank you guys for the follows. We really appreciate it. Clap it up for our new followers.
Yeah, and definitely I want to give a shout out to Mike Larry, who created this beat for us here today for our intro and outro. We definitely appreciate that, Mike. And here we go. Hey, everyone, thanks for listening today for Talk.Crypto. This has been Mike, Alpha Chi, Noah, the Crypto Nomad, coming at you, giving you the no nonsense, no BS when it comes to the smart chain, when it comes to blockchain. Thank you for listening.
Hey. Production by Mr. Mike Larry Draw. Here we go, Talk.Crypto. Play those horns. Yeah. This is like that nice little tea that you have in the morning. Gets you a little bit woke. Gets you ready to trade that crypto in the morning. Make those flips. Stack that BNB, stack that cake.
Let's make some money today, Mike. Let's make some money today.
Yes, guys, we're going to be posting trades up in our War Room channel. Noah's on it all day, every day. We've got our Telegram channel. We forward you updates from other projects. We got some of our listeners in there. So make sure to pay attention and stay tuned. We're going to be coming at you live tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern. What's that UK time?
This has been Talk.Crypto, fellas. Have a good day.
Enjoy it. Peace.